Hey all, we are going to install some strings into vintage style posts. Okay, this is the old ones with just a notch straight down and a center hole. So I realize some people aren't a big fan of these kinds of tuners, but you know what, they do work well for what they are, and you want to maintain that vintage thing. But here's a quick video on how to do it relatively quickly and efficiently. Okay, anyway, so I've got about 2.5 or 2 inches or maybe 3 centimeters or whatever at the low E string here, meaning I'm going to start here and move progressively further out. Okay, so I'm going to chop that, pop that down in the hole, give it a good push to give it a kink, wind it up, and that's good to go, just like that. Now notice that's not a whole lot of winds there, but that's fine. That's only a couple winds. But I'm also taking into consideration the amount of break here. That is the angle over the nut, and that becomes critical the further on we get into the tuners here, especially when we come to the G and the D. You'll see as we carry on here. So now with the A string, I'm going to leave a little bit more length, whatever you want to call that, 2.5 inches, maybe 4 centimeters, and I'll chop that there. You can even go like maybe a distance of 2 posts. Pop that down in the middle, give it a good push to give it a kink, wrap it around once just to save a bit of wind time. By the way, this is a really nice relic telly with it's all gold. It's very bling bling bling. Anyway, now so here we are at the 4th string. A little bit more material. You'll notice that as I go further out, I'm going to add a little bit more tag end to this. So we're into maybe 4.5, a good almost 3 inches there for the tag end on the D string. Pop that down in the middle, give it a good push, wrap it around once, and when my other hand disappears there, what I'm doing is I'm actually making sure that the ball end is seated at the other end at the body, so that if it does when it gets hung up, that is the ball end, it can give you some grief because it'll go bing, and then the next thing you know, you got an extra material and your setup is all wonky. Okay, so on to the G string. This one is I tend to kind of fuss about a little bit because depending on the guitar, I will tailor the amount of tag end I got on it. Not all the geometries are exactly the same. Even they look the same, but they are not the same. But on this one, it's a really nice build, I gotta tell you. I mean, this is like a 5K instrument or whatnot, and it sounds and just it's an amazing instrument. It's hand tinkered custom shop. Anyway, so now I've got a good 3 inches here, maybe 6 or so centimeters. I'm not good with centimeters, sorry, but it's a little bit longer again. To reiterate, tag length gets progressively longer as we go through the strings here. So I'm going to chop that. The reason why I'm doing this, there we go, is the longer the tag length, good push around, the more winds you get underneath that post, because I'm pushing down. If you want to have a quick look here, first finger is controlling the position at the post, and the rest of my fingers are controlling the slack, and I'm actually making sure that the string is oriented over the proper slot at the same time. You know, so the more string we have wrapping progressively further underneath each wrap, the more the angle will increase over the nut. There's a sweet spot, you might want to say. I try to aim for no more than 3 or 4 wraps at the on the G string. We're in a good shape here. This is a really nice instrument, so it's gonna be relatively forgiving. That's the beauty of better made instruments. They have a higher tolerance of you know, acceptability in terms of setup and all that. Second string, not quite as much tag length because we have the retainer. The old school disc retainer. One thing about these retainers, the vintage style, is they do have a bottom cut. They have a cut underneath there, like a slot, and I haven't really checked it, but it seems to be just fine. Okay. The sometimes with similar instruments, you might find that the string is popping out, you know, from underneath the disc here, or the circular retainer. It's because it's not oriented with the slot cuts underneath there. Okay, just loosen the screw, turn it until you can kind of figure out where the string is going to pop in there, and away you go. So that's about 2.5 maybe or so inches or so. Last string here. Now the first string tends to be a bit of a pain because it's just thin. So we really want to make sure that gets a good seat right from the get-go, a good kink. And we wind it up accordingly. Beauty. Oh, that's just lovely in tune, eh? Okay, well, we'll give that a quick tune, and then I'll show you the last little trick to making this really work well. It's my A440 pitchfork. Yes, that's just in the ballpark. Okay, I've already done some preliminary work on the bridge and relief and the nut, basic setup parameters and stuff like that. Actually, hang on. Let's give it a quick sound test here. That sounds great. Not. Yeah, it's a little sizzly, but I'm really yanking on the strings here, being a little aggressive. Anyway, I'm gonna kind of work these strings into position here. Okay. One thing I want to mention here, as the strings wrap around the posts, especially the heavier strings, and the fine strings not so much, but you want to make sure that they're seated properly. As any string that goes through a curve is going to have some sort of, well, it doesn't necessarily want to maintain a curve or a curve. Transitioning from a curve into a straight line, it wants to kind of, I'm going to kind of keep going on that arc. Anyway, so what I do is I pull the strings a little bit to get them to conform to the posts. What that does is it takes out backlash. You can hear it drop a little bit too. Fractional. Yeah, not bad. Now, before I go doing anything else, here's the trick. Okay, I got a slot screwdriver here. It's not gonna compromise the dimensions of the slot here or anything like that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna push down on each of these slots here, the tuner heads, and just to make sure that they're seated properly. It wasn't a whole lot of force. I'm not trying to damage anything or anything like that. All I'm doing is trying to help the string come up out of that center hole and then manifest that right angle in a solid or a good grip of a kink as it carries on through the rest of the winding. And that actually dropped a couple points there. So did that. See, hear that? That was... Okay, I'm going to give that a quick... Stretching the strings really quickly. Not too aggressively, because if I have to make any further major adjustments, I don't want the elasticity of the strings to be compromised. Okay. Pretty good. Whoa, something went off there. There we go. So that puts us in the ballpark. Nowhere near like final completion, because I got a bunch of fine tuning and stuff like that to do, going through the making sure the cut and the nut is done properly. Again, inspecting the wraps on the tuners, making sure the saddles are all adjusted properly. They're in the ballpark, but we got to make sure that everything's going to work together. But I have no doubt this is going to turn out to be a real fine instrument when it's all done. Really nice. It's a good pleasure to work on it. Anyway, that's a quick tutorial on installing strings into vintage style slot tuners. Okay, and these should hold just fine. Once everything is stretched out and stabilized, it'll be just fine. Big thumbs up. Thanks for coming out. See you later.